Hello students, welcome to this class. So we are going to look at the most important thing in computing, and this is going to be unit number 2, talking about operating system. So an operating system is a very important part of a computer system. So because the operating system manages computer resources, especially the allocation of those resources among other programs. So these sources may include CPU, memory, file storage, input and output devices, and network connections. So management tasks include scheduling, resource use, avoiding conflicts and interference between other programs. So there are different operating systems that exist, uh, starting from Windows, Linux, and many others, including Android. So at the end of this unit, you'll be able to understand the basics of the operating system. You also understand the purposes of the operating system. We also dive in and look at the different types of operating system. Then we'll explain user interfaces. So what is an operating system? So an operating system is a specialized software that controls and monitors the execution of all other programs that reside in the computer, including application programs and other system softwares. So let us look at the functions of an operating system. So it does booting. So that is the first function of an operating system, whereby it loads the kernel and the kernel is responsible for tasks related to booting, including file management and resource allocation. So we also have it also offers the function of configuring devices, whereby every device that is connected to the computer system can be recognized by the operating system. Also, it helps in managing networks, whereby it helps in connecting wired connections, managing wired connections on the computer system, also recognizing wireless connections on the computer system like Wi-Fi in your homes or school or work area. So it also helps in memory management, uh, where it allocates the memory when the process requests it to do so, as well as deallocating that memory when the processor or the process is no longer uh, in need of that memory. So it also does processor management, whereby the OS decides which process gets the process when and for how much time. Then it also helps in file management, whereby the file system is organized in hierarchical order for easy access of directories. So let us look at the operating system kernel. So the operating system kernel is a central component of a computer OS that acts as a bridge between the application and the actual data processing done at the hardware level. So what it does, the kernel is responsible for managing the system resources, for example, communication between the hardware and software, and can provide the lowest level abstraction layer for the resources, especially processors and the input and output devices. So the kernel basically creates a connection between the hardware and the software of a computer system. Let us look at the types of operating system. So we have the batch operating system. So this type of operating system does not interact directly with the user. So there is an operator which takes similar jobs having the same requirement and group them into batches. So here it is the responsibility of the operator to sort jobs with similar needs, and some computer processes are very lengthy and time consuming. So you find that to speed up uh, the same process, a job with similar type of needs is batched together and run as a group. So these types of operating systems are relevant in the payroll system, bank statements, and others. Then we have the multi-programming operating system. So these operating system uh, is where one or more multiple programs can be loaded into its main memory for execution. So only one program process is capable to get the CPU for the execution of the instructions where other programs wait for their turn. Then we have the time sharing operating system. So the time sharing operating system is where each task is given some time to execute so that all the tasks work smoothly. So each user gets the time for a CPU as they use a single system. Then we have the network operating system. So for the network operating system, these run on servers and provide the capability to manage data, users, groups, security applications, and other networking functions. Then we have uh, real-time operating system, or they call them online and real-time operating system. So these are used to control machinery, scientific instruments, and industrial systems such as uh, embedded systems. Okay, so these are mostly used in robotics industry, space craft, and in industrial control. For example, in manufacturing, production, and power generation. Then we have the distributed operating system. So uh, this system, you find that in this kind of operating system, it is possible to find that one user can access the files or software which are not present on his system, but other system connected within this network, for example, remote access is enabled within the device, and they can be able to access the resources that they don't have on their system. So let us look at uh, user interface types on the operating system. So we have the graphical user interface, which is mostly used in Windows operating system. So this is whereby you look at everything as an icon, have graphical icons. For example, if it is a folder, you can see it has a folder icon. If it is, let's say, a video, you can see it has video icon. If it is an application, you can see the application icon. So in here, you can directly use the mouse to click on the graphical objects on the screen. So we call this the graphical user interface. So then we have the command line interface. So in this interface, you only work from the terminal. So basically, this is common in Linux systems where you just look at the black screen, you just use commands. For example, if you interact with a Solaris operating system, so here it is a user interface uh, in which computer's operating system or application is responds to visual prompt by typing in a command or on a specified line. Then it receives the response from the system and then enters another, and then you enter another command and so forth. So once you enter a command, the the system responds. If that command doesn't exist, then it will show you that this command does not exist. So this kind of operating system is basically used in Unix and Linux operating systems. Then so let us look at enhancing an OS with utility software. So a utility software is a kind of system software designed to help analyze, configure, optimize, and maintain the computer. So a single piece of utility software is usually called a utility. So it is also abbreviated as util or tool. So application, we also have the application software. So application software focuses on how computer uh, infrastructure and computer infrastructure operates. Okay, so these may include computer hardware, operating system, and application softwares. So for the case of utility software categories, we have disk defragmenters. Then these can detect computer files whose content are broken across several locations on the hard disk and move the fragments to one location to increase efficiency. Then we have disk checkers, which can help scan the contents of hard disk to find files or areas that are corrupted. Then we have disk cleaners. For disk cleaners, help find files that are necessary to the computer operation. Then also we have disk space analyzers, then disk compression utilities, then the file managers. So that's all for now regarding the introduction to operating system. So in the next class, we are going to look at the Linux operating system. Thank you.